The royal hall of the Serene Crown had always been a place of measured calm. Its tall glass pillars shimmered with soft green light, and its white stone floor glowed faintly beneath every footstep. Yet on this day the hall pulsed with unease. Diplomats stood in clusters. Advisors whispered in tight knots. Guards held their staffs close. A sense of something unknown wound through every corner, threading itself into the bright stillness like a storm brewing beneath. A clear sky dot at the center of the chamber stood Queen Elara. Her presence was a column of unwavering authority, wrapped in robes of shimmering silver. Her dark eyes scanned the room, not with aggression, but with a concern sharpened by years of ruling a vast star realm. Behind her, counselors waited for her command, shifting restlessly as if uncertain how events had rushed so far beyond prediction. Her daughter, Princess Elara, entered the hall with a stride that carried the grace of royal upbringing and the resolve of someone returning from a long journey that had changed her. Her white cloak fell across her shoulders like a captured beam of starlight. She carried herself with calm strength, but her eyes held a brightness rarely seen before her long absence. And beside her walked him, a human dot, not one of her world, not of the court of the Serene Crown, not of any of the old allied species whose names filled the archives. He was simply a man from a distant blue planet, born under a sun no one in the hall had ever seen. His name was Rowan. He stood solid and quiet, dressed in the ceremonial garments Elara had chosen for him, simple fabric in dark blue, with a crest of the royal house embroidered in silver thread. His expression stayed measured, though he could feel the weight of the hall bearing down on him. That no one in the chamber spoke at first. It was as if the quiet held its breath. Queen Elara stepped forward. Her voice cut through the silence like a clear bell. "Who is he?" she asked. The question carried no anger, but it carried the full force of royal expectation, of a mother's shock, and of a ruler's demand for understanding. Princess Elara met her mother's eyes without hesitation. Her voice held both warmth and unwavering certainty. "The human I wed." A ripple moved through the hall. Some gasped. Some muttered. A few guards straightened as if unsure whether the statement signaled danger or diplomacy. The advisors traded glances filled with alarm. No one had foreseen this, not even the queen. Rowan felt the tension like static brushing over his skin, but he kept his posture steady. His world had never taught him how to navigate alien courts. It had not prepared him for the pressure of 100 eyes from 100 worlds studying him. Yet Elara had prepared him in another way. She had taught him to remain true to what he believed, even when standing before a queen. Queen Elara regarded him with careful scrutiny. Her gaze was sharp, but not cruel. She examined every detail of the man beside her daughter. His stance, his calm, the strength of his presence despite his obvious unfamiliarity with the setting. "A human," the queen said, as if the word itself carried weight. "Our star realm has observed the humans from afar, yet no one thought they would step into our dynasty. You returned to me with a vow, a bond made beyond the borders of our knowledge. Tell me why." Elara stepped closer to Rowan, letting her fingers brush his in a gesture small enough to be respectful, yet visible enough to be unmistakable. Rowan lifted his head slightly, taking strength from that contact. "I met Rowan during my journey to the Outer Crescent," Elara said. "The mission meant to study the unknown sectors. Our vessel fell into peril. Communication failed. Systems collapsed. We were adrift in a region without a name. It was a human ship that found us." One of the counselors stepped forward. "But humans do not venture so far," Rowan answered this time, his tone steady. "We do now. Not for conquest or control. We explore because we must learn. Because curiosity drives us even when caution should hold us back. Our vessel was mapping a path through regions uncharted to us when we detected a failing distress signal. Elara continued. He and his crew brought us aboard. They shared what they had. They repaired what they could. When danger came again, their ship faced it without fear. Queen Elara raised a brow. Danger, Rowan nodded. A drifting structure of unknown origin. It moved like it had intent. It had no signals we could decode. Our ship tried to avoid it, but the object altered its course. We shielded the princess and her team as best we could. No details of battle were spoken, but the hall could sense the gravity. Rowan avoided any word that might count as violent. Elara's voice softened. He placed himself between us and harm more than once. Not because of diplomacy, not because of gain, but because it was right. The queen listened, her expression unreadable. Acts of protection do not alone forge a union, she said. Many lives have protected others. Many bonds have formed in turmoil. Tell me why your paths joined in marriage instead of simple gratitude. Elara smiled gently. Because while he guarded us, he also spoke to us. He shared stories of his people, their hardships, their hopes, their restless drive to build something better. He asked questions about our world not with envy, but with wonder. He showed me how humans see the universe, as a place to learn from, to respect, to challenge, to cherish. And in that curiosity, I found something that felt like home. Rowan looked toward the queen. Your daughter taught me more than she claims. She taught me humility in the face of knowledge far beyond my own. She taught me that strength is not only in power, but in wisdom. She taught me that trust is not granted by birthright, but earned in every choice. And through those lessons, I grew. The queen listened, but the hall felt no closer to calm. Her advisors whispered to one another. A few diplomats exchanged worried glances. The serene crown had never joined with humankind in such a way. The implications were vast, political, cultural, diplomatically unpredictable. The queen lifted a hand, silencing all murmurs. Elara, she said, you are heir to the serene crown. Your future shapes the fates of many. A marriage binds more than hearts. It binds realms. You have brought to us a union formed beyond the knowledge of this court. It is not distrust of you that brings concern. It is the weight of what this means. Elara bowed her head respectfully. I understand the burden of my role, but I also understand the impact of a choice rooted in truth. Rowan's people may be young among the stars, but their potential is vast. Their courage is tested. Their will is strong. They are a force not through dominance, but through determination. To join with them is not to risk our realm. It is to enrich it. Queen Elara turned her gaze to Rowan. If this union remains, your life intertwines with ours. You stand among worlds older and larger than your own. Some may question you. Some may mistrust you. You must answer for yourself, not with flattery, not with borrowed words. Tell this court why you deserve to stand beside my daughter. Rowan inhaled, then stepped forward. His voice remained quiet, but its steadiness carried through the great hall. I do not ask to be seen as more than what I am. I am human, imperfect, driven by faults as much as strengths. But my people have always risen by confronting what challenges us. We explore because we seek understanding. We learn from any who teach. We may struggle, but we push forward, not to dominate, to grow. The princess saw this in us. She saw something worth trusting. I will not claim grand titles or speak of destiny. I will simply promise that I will honor my bond with her. And I will stand for this realm as I stand for my own, through effort, through learning, through devotion earned over time, not demanded. The hall fell silent again. For a long moment, Queen Elara said nothing. Her gaze shifted between her daughter and the human who stood so firmly without aggression. She turned the weight of countless years of rule inward, considering both the personal and political depths of what lay before her. At last she spoke. Elara, you have chosen with clarity. And Rowan, you speak not as one seeking power, but as one grounded in conviction. I question to understand, not to reject. A realm does not thrive by closing its gates to the unknown. It thrives by choosing wisely which new paths to welcome. Your bond, though unexpected, holds sincerity. And sincerity has shaped many great alliances. Throughout history, a wave of relief washed through Elara's expression. The Queen lifted her chin and addressed the hall. It be known that this union stands recognized. The serene crown acknowledges Rowan of Earth as consort to Princess Elara. His world may be young among the stars, but youth does not limit greatness. From today forward, our realm opens a bridge to humankind. A murmur of astonishment swept through the hall, but it carried less fear now and more curiosity. Rowan bowed with deep respect. Elara stepped beside him and took his hand with quiet joy. Queen Leora regarded him once more with a softer expression. Rowan, though you come from a distant world, remember that you walk among us now as family. Honor this bond and honor the role you now share. Learn our ways and teach us yours. In that exchange, our futures will grow stronger. I will, Your Majesty, Rowan said. The Queen nodded. The hall slowly shifted from shock to acceptance. The counselors approached with hesitant but genuine greetings. Diplomats from allied worlds examined Rowan with measured curiosity rather than suspicion. A few guards even relaxed their grip on their staffs. As the formalities eased. Elara leaned toward Rowan. You handled yourself well, she whispered. So did you, he replied quietly. They shared a brief, warm smile. Later, as Th.